want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. Pay for their disease.
It's time for another Black Flag Racing Prospect Series race. Are you ready?
Good morning and welcome to the Black Flag Racing Prospect Series, round number 5 at Brands Hatch. We're coming down to the last 20 minutes of qualifying this morning. Riding on board with HRH George, our championship leader currently. Had a little incident, came into the pits, maybe set a faster qualifying lap. Currently qualifying in P5. As we see, we have a little bit more trouble. I think that was just right out of Sterling's Bend, turn number 8. Mr. Smoky Blade 214 in the McLaren getting sideways. Oh, getting out of the way to GGR Logan. GGR Logan coming around to finish his lap. Hopefully he wasn't held up too much by that one. Coming off the Brabham Straight into the Paddock Hill Bend, turn number 1. Down into Halewood Hill and to Druids, that nasty hairpin, turn number 2 technically. Going up Graham Hill. And I've always had problems on the exit of this curve. There's very tricky traction zone. When you're trying to accelerate out of Cooper into Surtees, it can get a little hairy out there on the grass. So we'll have a good look out for that. We're going to have a lot of yellow flags. Drivers just going off. It's a very narrow track. Ghost Stroke 907. Currently qualifying in P18 in the Porsche. I know Larry's going to be upset to see that. He is a very big fan of the Porsches. And he's really hoping for Porsche dominance either next season or this season, even though he's not driving the Porsche this season. And you must excuse the funky cameras with ACC today. This track has a bunch of trees and funky camera angles, so I'll be changing between camera angles once we're following drivers. It's going to be a very narrow track, a very congested track. So hopefully that will produce some really good racing today. That one sim racer in the top 5 of our championship, coming in at P10 currently in that Lamborghini. Going off, maybe going to the pits. He's still got plenty of time to set a good lap. Oh, Webbo. Hopefully feeling at home here in this English-based track, British-based track. It's got all of the quirky corner names that he would expect. The ones that sound like Game of Thrones or Downton Abbey characters. Currently in P17 for qualifying. I really hope Webbo can pull out a better qualifying lap and get up there towards the front. Sniper Gus, another big player in our championship. Currently P5. I wonder if the McLaren is treating him right today. If the McLarens are going to do good as they have been traditionally through the beginning of this season. Getting a little wide. Very tidy through there, Sniper Gus. Just on the Clearway Straight, coming towards Clark Curve, turn 9. Very tidy through there. You're going to see drivers coming off the circuit all the time. Especially in a short track like this, they want to go ahead. If they mess up any corner, they want to just go ahead, return to the pits, and hopefully get out there and set another fast lap. I'm going to have my breakfast here so I can really power up and give you guys the best commentation? I don't know if that's a word, but a commentating of performance. that I can. So I'm going to go dark for about 5 minutes. I'll rejoin you with about 10 minutes to go left in qualifying. Enjoy the sounds and sights of Brands Hatch. And welcome back. We are completing the last 10 minutes of qualifying for Brands Hatch Round 5 of the Black Flag Racing Prospect Series. The current P1 in Sublime. Currently 17th in the championship. This is going to be a strong result if he can put it on pole and finish in the top 10, top 5, or even in first. Why wait in second? Very strong runner. Participating mostly in the GT4 in the Premier Series, but has been appearing in the Prospect Series. Riding on board with MDJ 2002 MDJ. Curious name, riding along with the Porsche. Very good looking color scheme though. Going a little bit wide. All right, let's take this time to really dial you guys in on the track map. As you can see on the left-hand side of the screen, I have a little track map, and it'll show the positions or relative position of every car on track. let me help you decode this for a second if you guys have a specific driver you want to keep an eye out on. The red dot is the one that we're currently watching. As you can see, 778 is our current red dot. The gray dots are currently on validated current laps. The blue dots are on invalidated laps. Yellow or yellow dots are going to be the cars that are bringing out caution flags. White dots are slow cars. As you'll see, the dots will change throughout the lap. That means they've either invalidated the lap or caused a yellow flag. So keep an eye on that left-hand side of your screen. We'll have that map going, and if you have a certain number that you like or a certain driver that you're following, you can keep an eye on them on the left-hand side. And the tealish gray, dark teal dots are going to be the pit lane. Car that's in the pit lane. Hari Effect coming in at P5, coming in also, I believe, in the top 5 of points. That's correct. He's in P5 in points right now. Only 1.1 seconds off the current leader's pace. That front-engined Lexus with a ton of power might be a little tricky to get around here. Not too many straights either. Lexus really known for its straight line speed. But he still has put it in the top 5 currently, as we have only 8 minutes left to go for this entire hour of qualifying. He's running out of time to set a fast lap. I hate this camera. For some reason it wants to turn and track all the trees, which is very uninteresting. So we're going to have to just stay on top of it this morning. That one sim racer in the Lamborghini, currently P9 in qualifying. Let's go ahead and look at the top of the order. You have Sublime Player in P1, Y-Weight P2, Hari Effect P3, Sniper Gus P4, and HRH George, our current points leader, in P5. Sniper Gus going off, having a big hit right there at the corner of turn 8, also known as Sterling's Bend. Here in Duran, in one of the loneliest BMWs out there. I don't see there are too many BMW. Actually, all I can see is one at this point. I think he's a lone BMW out there. Maybe struggling a little bit. These FR cars having a bit of a tough time around this narrow, twisting track. That's MDJ coming through Druids to Graham Hill on the straight to Surtees, Cooper Straight, as I'm being told, to Surtees Corner. A very technical portion of the track, low speed to medium speed quarters. You can see there's some debris kicked up from the other competitors on the track. No yellow flags for debris here. As he comes through Sterling Bend turn number 8, very tidy through there. You have a lot of drivers in the top 10 within 5/10 of each other. Might be shaping up for a really competitive race today. Oh, whoa. Almost clipping someone coming out of the pit lane. You got to be really careful about that entering the track. I mean, he was at the blend line. And you do have to give that due regard to people entering the track. That was GGR Logan and the 778 Aston Martin V8 Vantage, sporting Black Flag racing colors. Only 4 minutes left to go in this qualifying session. We have Priest in P15. That's going to be Team Sam Speed. That is my team. Currently, Sam Speed is 5th in the Constructors or Team Championship. Eric saying the forecast calls for rain. We shall see. I mean, it wouldn't be uncharacteristic of a track of this nature to have rain. And it would only make a tricky track trickier. Many cars on the pit lane, as we can see. Sniper Gus out there, still trying to improve. Up to P4 this time. Only 1 second off the pace. Excuse me, sorry. I'm just trying to get everything situated for our race. Trying to bring you guys the best information at the time. All while sitting in my own sim rig, watching other drivers in their sim rigs. Sublime player with a 124.5 on the nose and P1 still. Having a pretty commanding lead with only 5/10 to the car behind. Hari Effect in that Lexus. Y-Weight bringing up P3. Only 3/10 behind Hari Effect. It's going to be an exciting front row battle. I can already see Sublime going a little bit wide. Maybe, yeah, that would invalidate his lap. Only 42 seconds to go, and then we can start this race. It looks like it's going to be the last lap for Sublime. Just going to go ahead and bring it in and get ready to start on pole position for this race. Hopefully, we do not have any server issues. If we do, I will try to get back into the server as soon as possible so I can give you guys the best racing action that I can. Bubbling Panda had left a comment saying way better than Larry at commentating. I think absolutely right. There's a lot of things I'm better at Larry at, and racing isn't one of them, but using, generally everything else, I'm pretty much better at Larry, including carrying backpacks and talking. No hate on Larry. Larry, if you don't know, is one of our admins, one of the co-founders of the league. He is a plucky Australian man, and if you haven't met him, you will soon if you just join the Discord for about 5 minutes. Actually, comment left says should have said I was better at him than iRacing. I think everybody should know this, and he's been very humble about it and very soft-spoken about it, but he actually did earn his B license in iRacing. And if you want to talk to him about it, I'm sure he'll be absolutely chuffed to talk about his B license. I think he mentioned it to me in confidence, but I think it's an appropriate venue for everybody to know that he indeed got his B license. All right, this is our top qualifying order for Brands Hatch. Sublime Player P1 in that Ferrari, Hari Effect P2, and the Lexus Sniper Gus upsetting Y-Weight, and that McLaren Y-Weight right behind in another Lexus, that one Sim Racer in the Lamborghini, HRH George, and the Aston Martin V8 Vantage. P7 is going to be MDJ in the Porsche, the fastest Porsche on the grid today. Clint Eastwood in the Ferrari, and P8, Beth Barron in the Audi. Ooh, that Audi is very tricky to drive. P9, and Burt Macklin rounding off our top 10 in the McLaren number 91, 1.5 seconds off the pace. I hope you guys are ready. It's going to be a very exciting race for our prospects. Oh, God King is in the chat. I'm very well aware of everybody's usernames, not really well with the actual real life names, but I'll get it. Thank you for joining, and we'll get this race underway in here in a couple minutes.
Seconds.
And here we go, the start of the formation lap.
Stay single file.
Welcome to Brands Hatch, a circuit carved into the rolling hills of Kent, where motorsport legends are born and broken. From the tight plunging drop of Paddock Hill Bend to the sweeping power of Hawthorne and Westfield, every corner attests to precision, bravery, and control. Today, the drivers face a ribbon of tarmac that punishes mistakes and rewards perfection. 2.4 miles of unforgiving elevation changes, blind apexes, and relentless rhythm. This is not just a race. This is a battle against fear, fatigue, and the limits of machine and mind. Black Flag Racing is proud to present Round 5 of this Prospect Series calendar, Brands Hatch. As we watch the drivers get ready on their formation lap, trying to get those tires up to temperature. As a reminder, we have one mandatory pit stop where fuel is required in this race. This is going to be a 1-hour race. And Sublime Player is going to lead us off in the pole position to start this race. As you can see, he's doing some stoppies to get those tires up to temp, get those brakes up to temp. They're coming on Hawthorne Bend, turn number 5 at this right now. I have a queue asking if I use ChatGPT for that. Of course, I need a little help sometimes. I can't just come up with this stuff all on my own. Everyone needs a little help from their friends, and ChatGPT is one of my friends, okay? Coming up to Westfield Bend, we have the entire field. Let me get you apprised on some of the storylines coming into today's race. Our top drivers, top 5 in the point standings, is going to be HRH George, Y-Wait, Baron, That One Sim Racer, and the Hari Effect. Most of which you can find in the top 10 of this race. So they're going to want to try to maximize the points for them and their teams. Speaking of the teams, we have a team championship being led off by Speed Syndicate, coming in P2 Malacca Motorsport, running on empty, Scuderia Only Gramps, and then finally P5 CM Speed, my team. As we come across Clark Curve to the start-finish straight, we're going to get ready to start this race. And the green flag is out. The Prospect Series Round 5 is underway. Okay, here we come into turn 1. Always a very tenuous corner. Looks like very, very neat through there. Nobody causing a yellow flag. Here we have, riding on board with our championship leader, we have HRH George. A slow start for number 3, way in the back, maybe a pit lane start. Very, very neat through it with our prospects right now. Got some battling right here for P12. Webbo coming under fire from Roy Mustang. Actually, let the timings page update. That's Webbo ahead in the Lexus. This is Burt Macklin in the McLaren. Our timing tower does have a little lag time to update between sectors. So Webbo actually got ahead to P11. Here we have a tight battle for P7. MDJ leading in that Porsche. It looks like HRH George is going to take a quick peek, but tuck back in. We have a yellow flag, a couple of cars getting into it right at the back. It looks like Ginger Adam and Max Trax in that Porsche getting into a little bit of a scuffle. Then Kanji Kyo leading up the rear. Sublime Player stays in the lead, gaining a little bit of a gap between P2. Hari and Sniper Gus going a little bit wide on the Graham Hill. on Cooper Straight. But very, very neat so far. Lots of battling. We have a yellow flag for number 112. That's going to be Clint Eastwood getting off the track into the grass, causing a little bit of a yellow flag. GGR Logan bringing up the rear of the main pack in that Aston Martin V8. P23 currently. He just cannot let that pack get away. He won't be able to make up too much time on him if he just loses them altogether. Tight battle back here for the 20th position. Ghost Stroke, Hyper Honda, and Smokey in the fight. Ooh, as we see Zaddy going in for a move on Runco, his teammate. Oh, a little bit of door banging. Oh, Zaddy's going to go off being pushed by Hyper Honda. And we have a slow car on track. That's going to be number 224 of Zaddy, trying to rejoin safely. Going to let the rest of these cars go by. That's heartbreaking for Zaddy. He was looking very clean through there, and he did really well in the last few races. Sublime Player carving out a commanding lead on the rest of the field. Hari trying to keep pace with him. That Ferrari is just proving to be way too quick here at Brands Hatch. And the McLaren's looking very strong through the corners today. Go on board with Priest and P16. He's only down one position from his starting position. I can imagine because he's just been battling, trying to stay clean, stay on the track, and get a good performance for his team. Not too bad from Priest so far. Let's see how he goes through the rest of the rest of the race. Strategy is going to play a huge part here. The field kind of spreading out. Got some of the guys in the back that just had incidents in the first 3 laps trying to recover. Zaddy's going to have a huge recovery drive ahead of him. This is the battle for P2 with Sniper Gust and Hari Effect and that Lexus just ahead. They seem very tightly comparative in skill and time as everyone's settling into this race. I understand that we've only been through 5 minutes, and the rest of the entire race is pretty long, so you need to settle in, find that rhythm before you start making any really hard moves for position. This is your battle for P6 or P5 with that one sim racer and Baron, and that actually I is for P5 with Y-Weight in that one sim racer. My apologies. Getting out, trying to use as much of the track as possible. Clipping that grass is not a terrible way to go, but you have to be careful. That grass can get very slippery, especially right here on the corner of Cooper and Graham Hill, the exit of Graham Hill. Number 12, slow car on the track, maybe having a little bit of issues. That's going to be Ginger Adam. Going to be falling right to the back of the order. Sublime Player just keeping it perfect. Really gotten into his rhythm, carved out a 6-second lead on Hari behind in P2. I think it's going to be smooth sailing if he could just keep this rhythm. Sniper coming in hot on Hari's tail. Across the start finish line. This is going to be a very technical section. Maybe the one that the McLaren has a little bit more pace in. You can see him flashing his lights, sticking a nose on the inside. Just does not have the drive off the corner to make that pass. All I got to say, Sniper, you just got to be patient with this stuff. Especially at the tight a circuit as this, it's going to be very hard to pass. You have to commit. And it looks like he does have that drive going in to Hawthorne Hill, this straight that we're on right now. Mid-pack is heating up. One sim racer in Y-weight. Very similar to the fight that we've seen up in P2. Regular key in Montana 470, fighting for P13. He gets really close on the end of turn 8. If he could just find a run, I'm pretty sure that McLaren can deliver in the twisties. Lucas asking if Artie made it in time. Yes, he did. He does. He is in the field. Actually, we can go ahead and see where he's at. He's in P4 at this current moment, making up time from his qualifying position and catching up to Sniper Gus right ahead in P3. This is going to turn out to be a big fight for the podium. Sniper Gus hustling Hari ahead, and once Barron gets into this mix, I can assure you he will hustle Sniper Gus for P3. Here's Hari, already 8 seconds behind the leader. Sublime player just on a magnificent form today, masterclass, carving out almost 10 seconds ahead of the rest of the pack. Here's Artie, catching up to the leaders, catching up to that podium position. He's going to want it. That one sim racer not far off. And Y-weight may have to be laying in wait for the rest of this race to find his perfect opportunity to get past. NBJ making up quite a few positions in that Porsche. I can imagine if you knew how to drive the Porsche really well, it would be really good around here. Let's check out the mid-pack. That's Webo and P10 making up 3 positions so far. Very good drive for Webo. Being followed hot on his heels by Roy Mustang and Burt Macklin and Montana 470 getting into a fight for P13 or P12, excuse me. You can see the different braking points coming into effect. These guys are going to be trying to play with their lines, play with their braking points, trying to get any edge that they can over the competition today. Getting a little squirrely off the edge of Sterling's Bend goes Montana. He's not going to like that. It's going to cost him a couple tenths in this fight. But as long as you're patient, it shouldn't matter too much. And now our leaders are coming up to almost the end of the pack. We will see lapped traffic here shortly. Here's the fight. The small group, 3-car group for P20. Ooh, you gonna take a look on the inside? Smoky Blade 214. Looking to take that inside corner of Ghost Stroke in the Porsche head. It's good to see some restraint from our prospect drivers today. Not just taking every single opportunity they can, but waiting for the right opportunity. Oh, gonna have a little bit of contact with Clint Eastwood behind, but still keeping it relatively clean on the exit. They are going at each other's throats back here. Every position counts in our Prospect Championship. We're already 5 rounds in. We have a yellow flag for number 3, Kanji. In the middle of the track where the leaders are coming through, we got number... this is going to be a little testy. He's got to get going here pretty quick. Number 14, Sublime Players, coming right hot on his heels. And he's going to have to get clear. He's going to be the first car to go a lap down. Hari seems to have gotten away from Artie and Sniper Gus. Artie has overtaken Sniper Gus for the last podium position. And Hari took advantage of that and got away from that fight as fast as he could. Sniper Gus is going to he's going to be hungry for that podium position. And Y-Weight and P6 is going to need to get up higher in the order for his point standing. I need to remind you the top 5 of our championships in the Prospect Series. We have HRH George, which is currently P8. Y-Weight, currently P6. Artie, let's go ahead, currently P3. That one Sim Racer P5, and Hari Effect P2. All of our top 5 point standers in the top 10 of this race. And let's go take a look at the midfield. It looks like a fight is a brewing back there in this big group. That's Webbo and the Lexus going right now across Cooper Street. Burt Macklin right behind. And then at lead McLaren, Montana 470, and that McLaren, the green McLaren. And Regular Cleat bringing it up in the Ferrari. Followed by Asvipa, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, and Priest. There are many trees on this circuit blocking the helicopter camera's view. But what a tight pack, what a great fight for our mid-pack. I can already tell Priest back there laying in wait, waiting for somebody to make a mistake and capitalize on it so he can get up a few positions. You got to be careful with the dirt on the end of Brabham Straight. It could go sideways real fast as Regular Key makes a move on the inside and is going to force Montana wide off into the gravel. And like I was just saying, Priest is going to make up that position as well as oh my goodness. As Avispa, I'm sorry. What a great move by Regular Clee. I don't know if it was his fault too much for him going out wide. That was a very tough corner to do it. And now Webbo under some heat from Burt Macklin. pack with that incident got a little spread out. It's going to take a few laps or maybe a few seconds as Webbo gets overtaken by Burt Macklin. They're going to come right back together and start this fight all over again. Let's go back to our leader, who is now coming through lap traffic. He's got to be really careful. He could lose a lot of time on a tight, twisty circuit like this, trying to overtake cars that are being lapped. And that could give Hari Effect and P2 the opportunity he needs to catch back up. As we got Max Trax going wide, giving him some space for the leader to go continue. And Smokey Blade 214 already getting passed by our leader. Here's Hari. We have a yellow flag on circuit. That's going to be Hyper Honda going off on the end of Clearways. And it looks like... So my apologies. Did he get clear? He did. He did. No, I'm sorry. But it looks like he's either back in the pits or he got going. Let's pick it back up with Regular Clee at the beginning of this 3-car pack. Preset the rear of Vispa in the middle in that Mustang. And Regular Clee leading this midfield pack. Just behind we have another yellow flag. That's going to be Montana 470, who went off wide a lap ago, going off wide again at Sterling's Bend. Unfortunate. I mean, he was in that pack fighting for those positions. It's just all come unglued. He just needs to put his head down and finish this race. Get back into it if he can. And we have Ghost Stroke and P19 being followed very closely by Clint Eastwood. Oh, getting a little tap, going a little wide. And they have to be careful about this fighting. They are just ahead of the leaders. Any fighting is going to slow any pack down, any car that's fighting. So they need to start focusing on whether it's good enough or better for their race just to not fight and stay in line. Put in those fast lap times. As you can hear on the radio, our pit window, our 20-minute pit window is open. They do all have to make one mandatory pit stop, and it is required that they take fuel. Now, it doesn't matter how much fuel they take. They could take as little as 1 liter of fuel, but that's the glory, the nice part of our strategies. They could play out in any way. You could load up on gas and be good for the rest of the race. You could go in, take tires, and try and put in the fastest lap, catch up to your competitors. It really all just depends on what that first 20 minutes produces. The blind player commanding lead, 9 seconds ahead of Hari. Hari keeping that gap pretty stationary. Baron catching up as fast as he can. He is just 1 lap car in between him and Hari. Sniper goes just behind, not letting Artie get away with that podium position for free. As we have the first of our pit stops. Montana 470 just going to go ahead and get his pit stop done. Looks like he may have overshot Runco in that McLaren, the beautiful McLaren, making his stop. Ghost Stroke coming in for his as well. And this is going to be the tricky part when they come out in that blend line into fast traffic. That looks like MDJ just behind of Vispa. That is MDJ overtaking him. He's going to go ahead and let him go. We got a lot of pit stops going through now. Or coming out right now. We have Montana Runco coming out. Zaddy in for his pit stop. Runco's teammate, Ghost Stroke, still in his. Y-Weight decided to make his pit stop early. That is going to be part of the strategy to try and get him a few of those positions. Few of the back markers making their pit stops already. Sublime Player, just commanding lead. He's been commanding all race long for the last 30 minutes. Y-Weight coming out. I'll be interested to see how Y-Weight uses this strategy to play to his advantage. Being second in points, he's got to have a really good finish here today to keep that second position in points. I have been muted for like 5 minutes, and I really apologize about that. Sorry. Like I was saying, Logan has already made his pit stop, and he's hustling Webbo. I'm wondering if Webbo will go ahead and make his stop as he comes around Clark Curve onto the start-finish straight. Nope, he's going to continue. Basically, everyone in the top 10 still needs to make their stops. We will have to see where the cars come out when they cycle out of their pit stops. That's really going to give us a better representation of where their strategy is going to be headed. And let's see if Sublime Player comes in for his... Nope, still going out. Staying out as long as possible. You only got 10 minutes left on the pit window. Here's Hari continuing on. Flyweight making up positions. Like I said, he was in P2 of the point standings. He needs to have a great finish today. If he wants to have hopes of holding on to that P2 in the point standings, he needs to have a great finish. He's already made his pit stop, and I think he's going to try and go for the rest of the time. That's one sim racer who's fourth in our points. Fourth on the track before he came in to make his mandatory pit stop. MDJ coming in for his as well. Burt Macklin making his mandatory pit stop. Runco. Not a great day for Runco. He kind of been back there in the back of the pack. I didn't see if he had an incident, but he's definitely got a lot of opportunity coming up in the second half of this race. 10 minutes left to go on the pit stop, 30 minutes left to go in the race. It is not over, as we have an incident on the Sterling Bend. Number 907, that's Ghost Stroke. And number 112, that's Clint Eastwood. They were together, still have yet to make their stops. They should probably come into this time by,
We are halfway through. Not
as we are halfway through the race. That is a mid-pack fight that just continues to heat up. Oh, he's going to cut across the pit lines. Get a little sideways coming on the pit entry. Hopefully he didn't speed. As Sublime Player. Oh, that's Hari Effect. Made his pit stop. Sublime Player continues on 21 laps. Old tires. Hari hoping he can get his pit stop out of the way, get some fresh rubber on, and make some really good lap times. That gives George P2. All of the top four still need to make their stop. That's Webbo in fourth. As we have another incident on Sterling's Bend. Sterling's Bend becoming a problem. Turn number 8 is becoming a problem for these racers. Kieran Duran and the number 337 BMW getting stuck in the gravel trap, trying to make it as... Ooh, that's very... almost getting into number 63. Trying to keep it as safe as he can on the re-entry to the track. As he finally rejoins the track, the racing surface. And Sublime Player has finally come in for his pit stop. That is your leader. Still in the lead, 36 seconds. He's got to get through with this pit stop and come out right in front of George. As Rory Mustang takes the lead, he needs to do his pit stop. Number 27 is in as well. That's George. Kanji with damage on the front of that Ferrari. Gonna have to little bit of a damage limitation day. Still needs to make his mandatory pit stop. That one sim racer is released from his stop up to P6 now. He's only 15 seconds behind the car, already the car ahead. Trying to get back into those podium positions. That one sim racer being 4th in position in our point standings. He's gonna want to try and overtake Artie. And Artie's going to want to try and get back into that podium position. George is released out of his pit in P7. Here's Wyweight P8, making up tons of time. Really, just because the pit stop cycling through, he's finally back up into the top 10. But he's got a lot of work to do if he wants to catch George ahead, who's over 8.3 seconds ahead. MDJ having a great race today. Not really getting into any incidents. Still in the top 10. Top 10 would be a fantastic finish. And we have a battle brewing. Burt Macklin and Sniper Gus for P10. The last position in our top 10. All the McLaren seeming to gravitate towards that mid pack. You have 3 of them in a rapid succession. You have Burt Macklin, Sniper Gus, and Arm the Homeless all in McLarens. One after another. I wonder if any papaya rules will come into effect today. I kind of doubt it, as they're all part of different teams. Burt Macklin is just trying to follow MDJ. Have a small incident just ahead of this group. Number 13, Smoky Blade 214 in the grass, trying to rejoin safely. It's not going to affect any of our McLarens. Let's go further down the field. Priest. Hold up. Sorry. Priest up to P12. Really good race for him. Good management. He just needs to keep it on track. Maybe make up some time. Do some really good laps. This would be a great position for Priest to finish in. Daddy on his recovery drive. Already up to P21. Getting hustled from behind by Kieran Duran, and that BMW had trouble in Sterling Bend a couple laps back. I think it would be best interest of Zaddy to just make the fastest laps he can. Get away from any other traffic, maybe make up some time on the traffic ahead. Max Track's in on the pits. And here is Roy Mustang coming in for his mandatory pit stop, pretty much the last mandatory pit stop besides Kanji Kyo. Relinquishing the lead. This back to Sublime player. Bronco doing really well, making up some positions up to P15. And that's Artie. I really regret not watching Artie get back up into the podium positions, but he's always, when he's out there in that Audi, it's just magic. He's always a contender for podiums, always a contender for the lead. And I mean, you could almost make it his own channel, because Every time he's out there on track, it's just electrifying. Runks is getting that blue flag for Artie. He's going to want to let him get by pretty quickly here. Not to slow his own race down. Going up Hawthorne Bend. Blue flags are still out for Runks. Not keen to give up that position even though they're not really racing each other. Maybe he's just waiting for Artie to get a little bit closer to relinquish the track position. Artie only 7 seconds behind P2. I wonder if he can hunt down Hari. That one sim racer up to P4, back to his rightful position after all the pit stops have cycled through. That's Roy Mustang, was in the lead, relinquished it back to Sublime Player, back to P5, not too shabby. That strategy really worked out for him. That's Webbo, P17, right behind in the Lexus. P6, HRH George. Our championship leader needs to make up some time to hang on to that top spot. Why wait? P2 in the championship. Oh. As MDJ goes a little wide. And that Sniper Gus coming through to take P8 and demote MDJ down to P9. He comes out right in the middle of this McLaren fight. All of these cars that you see here are going to be fighting for position. As the sign gets in the way, Burt Macklin may be wanting to look for a move here soon. That was a pretty critical mistake from MDJ. He's been running good all day, and I think the fatigue of Brands Hatch is just getting to him. As you're basically never stop turning. Our pit window is closed, and it looks like everyone has cycled through for their pit stops. No penalties being given out for pit stops today. I have to give a special comment to the prospects. This has been a very clean race. Pretty much only people going off on their own, only a couple of incidents here and there, but other than that, it's been a very clean race, very good racing from our prospect league. Sniper Gus leads this 3-car pack. MDJ in between a McLaren sandwich, trying to regain that 8th position that he had before he went off on Cooper Straight. Maybe he just needs some time to find that rhythm again, that confidence, that commitment to go for a move on Sniper Gus. And just ahead we have yellow flags, a slow car, maybe just going off. Going to be a Vispa going off just a little bit, but back up to speed. Rejoin Sniper at the beginning of this midfield pack. Wanting to get away from MDJ, looking like he's doing it, gaining over 5/10 over MDJ right now. That Sector 3 is going to be really good for these McLarens. Burt just wanting to keep in touch with MDJ. This could be a free position for him as well, as it was for Sniper Gus. Better be careful going out onto Cooper Straight on that grass on the exit of Graham Hill. Daddy making up another position on his recovery drive. Not too far behind Ghost Stroke. Right behind them are Priest and P12. Kieran Duran and P21 and the leader, Sublime Player. Only 7 seconds ahead of Hari and Artie. Here's Hari. Regularly a lap down. Logan P14, Clint Eastwood, and then Artie. Making up some time to Hari, trying to hunt him down for that P2 position. He's got a few lap cars in between them. Still plenty of work to do. 16 minutes left in this race. He's going to have to do it pretty quick if he wants to get up to P2. But knowing Artie, I wouldn't put it past him. Bronco P15. With Webbo not too far behind, I don't think. Actually, I take that back. Webbo is pretty good behind. That's going to be our big break in the field between 15 and the rest of the field. HRH George looking to make a move on Roy Mustang. Actually, I take that back. Yeah, making the move on Roy Mustang. Around the outside, Clark curve and making it stick. Very beautiful move by George. Clean racing. Good job. That's going to put George up to P5. 10 seconds behind that one sim racer. He's got a lot of work to do in 15 minutes. Why wait? P2 in the points. Gonna want to try and catch up to Roy Mustang and George as fast as he can. But it's looking like he's just about 10 seconds behind him. A lot of work to do again. Sniper Gus right behind him. The beginning of our McLaren sandwich with MDJ, Burt Macklin, and Arm the Homeless, all fighting for position, all within 5 seconds of each other. MDJ not letting Sniper Gus get away. I gotta give him props. I don't think I could do that in that Porsche. It is just far too twitchy for me. Larry would disagree, but hats off to MDJ for putting up a good race in that Porsche. As the blue flags come out for Zaddy and our leader, Zaddy getting sideways, going into the wall. It's going to be a terrible day for that recovery drive for Zaddy. As all the rest of the cars come through, he's going to try and rejoin the circuit as safely as he can. He's coming out and right in front of another pack of cars, close pack of cars. That's going to be Artie getting past GGR Logan on his charge through the field, charge to P2. Looking like he's only 15 seconds. He's got 13 minutes left. This may be where Artie finishes, but knowing him, I can never count him out of a good fight. Clint Eastwood following behind GGR Logan. We have another yellow flag. Daddy again, just having a tough day. If I could just get on his team radio comms, I would just say, hey man, it's okay. Just go ahead and finish this race. Don't quit. Never quit. Even if you have tough days, hey, that's just racing. You can't be guaranteed a good day every time you go out. That one sim racer getting past. Lap traffic. As Clint Eastwood gets off the track, manages to hang on to it and stay on the track. We got a little bit of trouble behind. That's going to be Y-Weight in P7 and Sniper Gus in P8. Let's see where this fight takes us. Just behind is another fight as Montana goes on. Go down. I think that's just lap traffic. He's going to get by. Sniper Gus and Y-Weight maybe coming together at the end of the Cooper Straight off Graham Hill. Sniper Gus, that's going to demote him down to P10. Our leader carving out a commanding lead. But, and here's a big but, Hari now only 4 seconds behind our leader, making up an immense amount of time, making up over 5 seconds. And this race isn't over. That is a lapped car in between. That's going to be Ghost Stroke. And Hari is going to want to get past him as soon as possible to keep charging towards the lead. There he goes. He is now released. There are no cars in between him and the lead. As we join the leader. Only 5 seconds. Only lost 1 second, Hari, in P2. But now there's nothing but air and opportunity between them. Hari's got to just put in some really great laps to catch up to the back of Sublime Player to have a hope for this lead with only 10 minutes left to go in this race. Barron making up at least 1 time or 1 second for P3, rounding off the top 3. Grab the last of the pack. That's Arm the Homeless in P11 going wide off Sterling's Bend again. Very big problem for our drivers today. It's a very tricky corner. Got another car number 308. Max Track's going off at the end of Paddock Hill Bend. The fatigue getting to the drivers. It's already been 15 minutes of Brands Hatch, and it is just a constant turn after turn. Really showing it's getting to these drivers. NBJ up to 7th position. As we join Y-Weight Sniper Gus. Only half a tenth behind. He's going to want to try and take the fight to Y-Weight. Coming up to Sterling's Bend, a place where the McLarens have been strong today. A slow car ahead. Oh no. That's going to be Smoky Blade 214 going off right and rejoining right up. He's going to go off again. That's Arm the Homeless sending him off into Clark Curve. That's going to be right in front of the leaders. This could be very potentially damaging to Hari's march towards the lead of the race. If Sublime Player can overtake number 13, put that car in between them, that could be the nail in the coffin for Hari's campaign to get to the lead of this race. Still 5 seconds behind, but looking very, very strong out there. Here we're going on board with Artie. Let's go ahead and listen in. Go on board with Artie. You see the end of Paddock Hill Bend into Graham Hill, that very big elevation change. You can see pretty much the entire front start finish straight from there. Oh, let's go on the other way here. That's Logan, coming into contact at the end of Graham Hill. Just losing a bit of pace at the end of this race. Y-Weight P9 just behind. Sniper Gus P10 looking for that move. What the heck just happened? As we join Smoky Blade, getting passed by Hari. What happened? Did he just disconnected? Sorry, I lost that fight. The camera got away from me. Oh, that's Sniper Gus and Y-Weight coming to, or GTR Logan coming together. That's Y-Weight in the rear. Coming up to MDJ. Like I said, the fatigue of this track can really wear on you. At the end of this race, we've seen more incidents than we have in the first 50 minutes of this race. Y-Weight going in for the move on Sniper, or on MDJ. Coming into contact. Gonna send them both off the track. He yields the position. MDJ continues. Looks like light damage in between the two of them. And he's going to come out right in front of Arm the Homeless and Sniper Gus. This group, once separated by seconds, is now all back together. And the fight continues with only 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in the race. GTR Logan falling off at the end of this race. But he is just ahead of Montana 470. And that is for position, and they are both just ahead of Sublime Player, our leader. Hari, still 5 seconds. It's not looking like he's going to make up that time, even though he does have clear air. Maybe if Hari or if Sublime Player comes into the rest of this lap traffic, it's going to slow him down enough for Hari to catch up. But let's go back on board with the battle that's unfolding. Up in the lead, you see the blue Porsche. That's MDJ of this pack. This is P8 in the lead of this pack. P9 Y-Weight and the black and red Lexus. And right behind him is Arm the Homeless in that green McLaren. Behind him, Sniper Gus in the pinkish purple McLaren. This is the biggest pack that we have that's racing for position on the track currently. And it looks like they are not going to give up. Oh, Arm Homeless is going off just behind. Maybe there's a little bit of contact from Sniper Gus, and it's going to open up a gap between Y-Weight and Sniper Gus. MDJ maintaining the lead of this pack in P8. But they are right in front of the leader, and as I said, the leader came into that lap traffic, and it is going to slow him down just a bit. Hari is going to catch up just a little bit, but he is also behind that lap traffic. He made a couple of tenths up while Sublime Player was coming into that traffic. Let's see how it's going to affect his race. Only 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. I bet Hari is just sitting behind, hoping for a mistake, hoping that Sublime will let that fatigue get to him. As the lap traffic is going to let him by and get that clear air. Burt Macklin clear of Webbo. MDJ right behind, right in front. He's getting a pretty good lead over there in P8. Looks like Sniper's going to come up to Y-Weight and put some pressure on him at the end of this race. Only 1 minute and 30 seconds left. As Hari gets through the lap traffic on his march towards Sublime Player, but I don't think it's going to be enough. He's still 5 seconds back. And here's Artie, quite a bit of ways away from Hari and P2. It looks like P3 is where he's going to finish today. But that is still a really good finishing position for him. Being third in the points, it's going to be good points for him and his team. HRH George, our points leader, finishing P5. I don't know if that's going to be enough to keep P5 away from Y-Weight just ahead. I mean, P1 in the points away from Y-Weight and P2. All right, let's go back aboard with the leader for his final lap. The Sublime Player was in control at the beginning of this race and at the end of this race. Just a master class, staying clear of the field by upwards of 5 seconds, even all the way up to 10 seconds. He has not faltered and he has not failed around any of these corners today. And he's shown that he deserves to win today's round 5 of the Brands Hatch Prospect Series. The small battle is going on in front of him. He just wants to keep it clean for the rest of this lap and finish it off. That's going to be Webbo just ahead of him. Slow car just ahead of him. Getting the yellow flag or the white flags. There's going to be a car off the circuit, number 3. He's got to navigate this very carefully. That's going to be a safe rejoin. That's good. And Webbo's going to yield that position for the leader. And Sublime Player, he's just got one more turn to go in a straight. And that is going to be your winner for round 5 of the Black Flag Racing Prospect Series, Sublime Player. And Hari is going to come in P2. Great finish for Sam Speed, who's P5 in this point standings. Let's catch up with Artie. Here he is at the back of a lap down pack. Not pushing, no need. He secured P3. And he's going to finish P3. P3 for your P2 point stander. Let's go ahead and take a look at our finishers. Hari looks like he's going to come home in P2. Beth Barron, P3. P4, so that was one sim racer followed by George, Roy Mustang, Burt Macklin, NDJ, Y-Weight, and Sniper Gus round out your top 10. They are still racing out there on that circuit, finishing up these laps. That's Runks coming across the finish line. Clint Eastwood. NBJ coming in across P7 ahead of Y-Weight and Sniper Gus. Arm the Homeless comes in at P10. Let's look at the rest of the finishing grid. We have Arm the Homeless P10, Regular Key, Runco, Priest in P13, followed by Webo, Montana 470, Ghost Stroke, GGR Logan, Zaddy, Clint Eastwood, Karen Duran, Kanji Kyo, Max Track, Smokey Blade, and that is going to round out our Prospect Series. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining us today at Brands Hatch. It was a wild one. Maybe not from lap 1, but definitely from the last 10 minutes where the fatigue started to set in. Join us next time for round 6 of the Prospect Series. I'm your host, Sam, saying thank you. And I'll sign out to that right now.